All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Yo, so we talking Shedeur Sanders, man. And I'm going to keep it all the way live. Before this weekend, I had no idea who the young brother was. I literally am one of them black people that have not been watching the NFL since Kaepernick. Like, it just hasn't appealed to me no more. I haven't even cared about it. I watched the Super Bowl, like it's a party scene with everybody else, and then I get the hell out of Dodge. I don't even pay attention to it. And ironically, in Chicago, where I'm from, I make money at the NFL draft. When it was in town, we sold products right at the motherfucking NFL draft and killed them when it was in town. But it's been moving around ever since. I guess that was a few years back. But make a long story short, Shorty got on, and congratulations to him, man. He at Cleveland. And I thought about it too. I'm said his father's probably from Hollywood some kind of way, obviously being a celebrity. And they always feel like Hollywood, the opposite of Hollywood, is Cleveland or Ohio. So I said that would be a good spot for him because they don't really have a real famous football player from that town or somebody representing that town that got a name brand. And we know the kid is going to be like a franchise player. There's no doubt about that. He's going to be one of the biggest and baddest football players in the game. And that's really the reasons why I'm on here talking about it, because now that I've kind of done a lot more research on him and learned about his little skills and 37 plays in college and all that stuff, he's got 37 completions. I'm sorry, touchdowns in college, and he was doing really good. That's like a college record, you know what I'm saying? He was playing heavy and doing his thing, and it's good because he's the youth, he's the next generation. His father proved who he was. Now, I'm from that era, but I'm a little bit younger. So I was like about 19, 20, something like that. So I was running the streets. I really wasn't watching football at that time. And when I did watch it, it was once in the blue. I'm sitting up with my homies and shit. But it wasn't something like that was big in my life. I think they was coming out at that time with the fucking video games and shit. There was like NFL, Madden, and all that stuff. So I was around it, my homies playing it and all that shit. It was something I know about, but it wasn't like my everyday. I wasn't really following who the Who's was. And my wife's father, he one of those people. He talk about that shit every time you go see him. He knew everybody in it, everybody playing. Rest in peace to him. So I understand that it's people that really study it, and a lot of people didn't understand why Shedeur Sanders wasn't picked in the first 2 or 3 rounds. And they talked about the other people who's going through that, and it was wondering like, well, why the hell he going through it? You know what I'm saying? So if the talent is not there, then what the fuck are they talking about? But the people, the white people, the racist white people that was dealing with him, they was getting mad at his father and having a problem. But that's complete racism, because the father worked for the NFL. He was a football player, one of the best cornerbacks in the world, and he sit there and made y'all all that fucking money. So it's like, what the fuck going on? That's complete racist. It's nothing but white people and maybe some other people who own NFL teams, but it's not really no black ones, and it definitely ain't half owned by black people, like 15 teams and 15 teams. It's not. It's most of the black people are the ones that pull up. You would call the workforce. You know what I'm saying? So they're the sharecroppers of the basketball or the football teams. They don't actually have power or control or even ownership of none of that shit, no matter how far they go. Even their brand name, even the jerseys, they don't have shit to ownership. Even giving out their images to the video game people, they don't run none of that. They just basically work there. They get a good check. They live their life. But this kid came from a lap of luxury. He came from money. He came from when they finally changed the rules in NCAA that they was giving out deals and contracts to the college kids. He was one of the people who could probably secure some kind of deal where he's financially a little bit more stable. He didn't come from, oh, my mother and father was fucked up and we was broke and we ain't know how we was going to eat. And I didn't even have a daddy growing up. I never met my father. He didn't grow up like that. He grew up where all that shit was around him. He had a father. He had a mother. They came from a comfortable house. When you see his videos, he's sitting at a fucking beach. Like, I'm sorry, at a pool in a mansion. Like, what other football player doing that's black? Not that many. And if it is many, it's probably 5 or 10. It ain't no 40 and 90. It's like maybe a whole 2 or 3 black dudes that could come from a superior lap of luxury and actually go on to become another person that's going to bring money and wealth to the family. It's not all the time like that, especially in the black community. So for those white people to hold back on him, it made the whole country go crazy. You could not be watching the internet and not see what they was tripping about this young dude about named Shedeur Sanders. So you see every news outlet talking about it. It's like, well, goddamn, who is this little nigga? You know what I'm saying? I know who his father is, but why they care so much about him? But he's dealing with the racism or the bigotry, or maybe it's not bigotry. Maybe it's not racism. Maybe they was just giving him a little bit of adversity because they know what it takes to build a person from ground up. But if you're already up, then they can't build you no further. But what can the NFL build you when they bringing a kid in from the streets? He's 18, he's 22, he's 19, whatever his young age is, graduating from college or even coming straight from the streets or without going to college. And so this kid came from nothing. So now we're gonna give you $250,000 a game. We're gonna give you $1 million a year or more. So now you're gonna come from rags to riches. So they gotta basically monitor you to make sure that you can handle that. And you know a lot of people don't. Some people go to jail after becoming an NBA player. Some people fall to drugs. Some people get hurt and they don't last. It's a lot of elements that go along with it. So for this kid to come from a lap of luxury, having a father all your life, where was the adversity? What's the hardest thing that you ever been through? Wait a minute. So they didn't pick you in the NFL the first 2 days. What the fuck do that mean? That ain't even nothing to even be sad about. Maybe they'll pick you next fucking year. Maybe whatever. It's not that big a deal. I mean, most people going to jail. Most people having a baby. Most people trying to pay for their apartment. Most people trying to get a car. Most people trying to figure out how the fuck they're gonna get Uber money to their job. Most people trying to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Most people trying to be healthy. Most people trying to live their life in their little way, but it's not definitely no multi-millions of dollars that they can reach out to or reach out to a parent to get to. Most people ain't gonna have 3 or 4 cars. So the kid, Shedeur Sanders, doesn't have an adverse history. He doesn't have an adverse background. It's really nothing that went in his life that's bad. You know what happened? Your father probably got sick or something, maybe some health issues. Your mother and your dad probably not together no more. It's like little stuff. It's not like you went to jail. It's not like you was running with the streets and you lost one of your homies and you had to turn your life around because you didn't want to follow the same tracks. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you got a baby out of wedlock and you underage and you trying to take care of this child. Not to say that you have to have those type of backgrounds, but the NFL is entertainment. So they're basically going to play off of your historical facts about your life and utilize that to show how you came up and became somebody special towards the NFL, and maybe in the future, you know, those kind of people can even run for mayor. Even Shannon Sharp, for instance, he was an NFL player. Now he's some $1 million podcaster. Podcasting wasn't around when he was running down the fucking field, but he was able to parlay his brand and his name and his fucking celebrity into whatever elements of entertainment come about. He could play along in it. So they're gonna set this kid up for that same thing. He's gonna be able to get in there and become something. But obviously, where's your adversity? What happened in your life that's supposed to be something like they got one kid from some town. He just got also drafted, and his mother dies the same night. So I'm sitting here saying to my lady, I'm like, they probably pulled the plug on her just so that they could have a story of this type of significance, because that's a horrible thing to hear. You get the highest height of heights with the call saying you about to be a millionaire, a successful person as a football player, and then the lowest lows of lows where you say you hear your mother die. That's really some shit straight from Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute, what? How do you go on from there? How do you only want to succeed because your mother's here? You only want to succeed to show her and to have her experience your success. But your life or her life dies, or she gets cut down, or I'm sorry, she dies from some illness, and at the day of your graduation, I'm sorry, of your draft, they tell you this. They calling you at the place like, hey, congratulations, but you need to call the hospital right away. Like, what the fuck? And then you hear this news. Oh, you ain't even in the same town as your mother. Now you got to try to get out of there and get to the airport, get over here. You never know how many other family members he got to help. What if he the only family member? Now he got to try to plan a funeral the weekend of his draft. It's a lot to it. So that guy, Shedeur Sanders, don't really have a necessarily uh, negative situation that he's facing currently or within the last 2 or 3 years. He's just been a success. He could play his ass off. He went to school. He's educated. His father and them got money. He don't even need a degree. He don't need no job. He used the brand just from his father's success to build up his own success. So for him to succeed and the Cleveland Browns to pick him up and take him on, it's a great thing, because in a lot of places like the fire department or the police department or even in Hollywood or wherever, if a person get a job, they could pass that job down to their kid. We all know it. We all seen it. It's nepotism. It's family structure. It's family. And they be like, yo, my kid needs to come up. And they be like, yo, come on, bring him in here. And they give him the 1-2, and now he's straight. So it's not, I don't think that he need to be not picked or he should be judged unfairly because his father's a celebrity. If he could show up and do the job, if he got the fire in him, if he don't worry, if he gonna work his ass off, give him a chance, because they give other people chances. They even had a point where these other fathers had came and said that was in the that was the father of kids being drafted, like John Elway and other uh, uh, kids' fathers was saying, "Hey, I don't want my kid to go to this particular city, and if this particular city draft him, I'm gonna make sure that he don't go there." So when those cities did draft him, the parent went the crap, white parent talking shit, and they made sure that they transferred. I mean, drafted the kid, but transferred him to another team. So it's not unheard of for the parent to be still fingers on when a kid get into the draft. It's been like 3 or 4 situations like that where the parent was like, if you this particular city draft him, I'm making sure he don't play for y'all. They didn't say we wasn't gonna draft you. They didn't say, oh, you don't respect it or you're not grateful. They still drafted him. They like, look, this is what the hell we said we was gonna do. And then when the parent came down there like he ain't showing up, you can't have my son in this particular city. They had to send him to another town, the particular football player. And that's historically facts. And it's more than one family that happened to. So they don't need to be playing Shedeur like he some unique anomaly and it's going to be some big problem because he come there. They know he going to be a franchise player and he going to run a whole team and he going to run their ass to the NFL championship, and he'll fuck around and do that the very first time he touch a ball. That's the talent in some of our people. They know that. So that's why they want to give him a little sense of adversity and say, okay, you ain't went through nothing, or at least you went through this. We waited and made you be the 144th pick. So now you build up your standard of what you can do from 144th to number 1, which ain't going to be hard because he's a hard-ass player, and that's the reason why he was even in the NFL draft in the beginning. So that's all I got on that, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate y'all watching and liking and subscribing. We're going to holler at y'all about some new shit. And thank you for watching. And definitely congratulations to the little shorty.